Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Emana Amawe. Coming up on today's program, prominent Nigerians get posthumous award as Kano turns 50. And Christian Association of Nigeria gives relief materials to victims of herdsmen attacks in Enugu State. EU ambassador to Nigeria commends Bayelsa State's development of its education sector. Many thanks for staying with us and welcome to the program that brings you news from the length and breadth of Nigeria. The Inspector General of Police has ordered all state commissioners of police to go after those behind the eviction order issued to Igbos living in the north. Mr. Ibrahim Idris was speaking at a World Press Conference held in Abuja, where he gave a stern warning that no individual or group will be allowed to compromise the security of the nation. He also warned tribal groups against issuing threats and divisive messages to intimidate members of the public, as the police would come down hard on the perpetrators. And the Kano state government has conferred posthumous and special awards on 82 prominent Nigerians and expatriates for their roles in developing the state. Thousands of Kano residents turned out for the event, which also offered a platform for the assessment of the nation's economy and a look at other challenges confronting the country.
That was the wife of the Kano State Governor, Hajiya Hafsat Ganduje, in a special appearance to celebrate 50 years of Kano State. This hall are former governors, families of awardees, politicians, businessmen, as well as investors. Horse riding, otherwise known as the Durbar Festival, with Emir Muhammadu Sanusi II riding alongside his district heads and other traditional title holders. So, how has the journey been so far? The governor of the state, Abdullahi Ganduje, goes down the memory lane.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have indeed come a long way. And as a matter of policy consideration, our administration had continued in the task of nation building, and particularly the continuation and subsequent completion of projects inherited from past administrations.
And time for the awards and those being recognized, including the former military heads of state, retired General Muritala Muhammad, General Sani Abacha, and the former Emir of Kano, His Royal Majesty Ado Bayero, amongst others. Some goodwill messages and more tributes to some of the awardees and from some prominent Nigerians.
It is true that I have well over 15,000 children. My link with these children is simply poverty and those that have no one to help them. Education for me is life. Education is key. Education is everything. And the best gift you can give to a child these days is education.
Abdullahi Umar Ganduje has committed himself to building on the legacies of the past leaders and taking Kano to even greater heights. He has already made significant investments in agriculture, including the production and distribution of seeds and the training of extension workers to train farmers.
With Kano State still undergoing transformation on various sectors of the economy, awards like this are expected to stimulate the people to contribute towards the development of the state.
Down here in the southwest, residents of the Songo-Ota area of Ogun State are being given the opportunity to register for a free medical outreach to scale up the state's community health insurance scheme. While the outreach is open to all residents, it targets the most vulnerable. The state estimates that 16,000 indigent citizens will be registered, with a priority given to children under 5, pregnant women and the elderly.
Efforts are ongoing in Ogun State, southwest Nigeria, to ensure quality healthcare delivery for residents. Residents of Songwater, a border town with Lagos State, are the latest to be registered for the free medical outreach which target indigent citizens.
The statistics we have given out is reflective of developing economy and poor economy. And that is why when we design Araya is meant to cater for the lowest economically, for the people in the lowest economic cadre. You know, what we are focusing on is actually targeting poor pregnant women and children under 5.
The outreach is part of the state's community health insurance scheme, which caters for the elderly, children under 5, pregnant women, and people suffering from disabilities. Community leaders applaud the initiative.
Araya program is the very good one, and we appreciate the Honorable Commissioner and the Excellency for doing that, for putting that in the mind of the people in Ogun State. We want it to continue, and we know they will achieve the best.
The registration gives beneficiaries access to a year of free treatment with cards issued at designated hospitals across the state.
And some traditional rulers and community leaders in Rivers State have been meeting on how best to keep peace within communities where crude oil is refined. The Eleme and Okrika towns are core communities where most oil companies are domiciled, and they have a history of hostilities with oil companies operating within the area. Our correspondent Emmanuel Ereyi reports on efforts to bring peace among the oil companies and the host communities.
Crude oil pipelines traverse the length and breadth of the mostly rural communities of Okrika and Eleme in Rivers State. Home to the nation's oldest refinery, the Port Harcourt refinery. Having played host since 1965, many youths of these communities believe they deserve more from the company. And promoting peaceful community relationship, taking jobless youths off the streets and protecting the nation's oil installations form the basis of this meeting of leaders of the host communities and representatives of the company.
For this honor that has been done to you.
Outside, some community leaders say while it is commendable for companies to continue to train youths of host communities in skills acquisition and empowerment, that may not end youth restiveness and pipeline vandalism.
We have community security and the federal security, which is the military, looking after the pipeline, mostly on the jetty. Then the same security claim to be patrolling the pipelines that are across the road. But you and me knows pipeline cannot be vandalized without connivance of the security agents looking after those things. They connive with them because they make huge money.
The managing director of the Port Harcourt Refining Company says peaceful coexistence is the only way to go.
What we are doing, even though we are doing piecemeal, over time it will cover a number of people. Certainly at a go you cannot attend to everybody. But we plead with the host communities to maintain peace, because that's the only way that we can have development. That's the only way to progress.
While some say the relative peace in the Niger Delta and the less attacks on crude oil pipelines at this time should not be taken for granted, oil companies are enjoined to do more for their host communities. Emmanuel Ereyi, Channels Television News.